Hello there. If it feels like it's been a long time since we have chatted, it's because it has been. I feel like I have not sat down to talk to you guys in so long. I have a lot of reasons why. We're gonna talk about it all. So I'm super excited to get into what this pregnancy has looked like for me. What are all the updates? How is this comparing to last time? What complications have come up? What hasn't come up that I thought would? Questions, do we have a name? Blah, blah, blah. Now, if it looks like I'm in a totally different room, that's because I am. This is baby boy's nursery. It is the wall that Alec and I built. Gotta build the crib. It's right here. I really want to do it. We leave on a trip. And I have clothes set out here. I need to pack for the kids. So much to do. The house looks like a tornado ripped through it. Yet I kind of want to spend nap time putting the crib together. So we'll see. First this, then we'll see. But anyways, if you're new here, my name is Heather. I have almost 2.5-year-old twins, and I am pregnant with our third baby. Just one, not twins. If you're not subscribed, please click that subscribe button. We're really close to 20K, and I definitely have not been consistent like I was hoping I would. This pregnancy last time, I was doing 2 videos a week. We were gonna talk about all this, so subscribe if you're not subscribed. Okay, now let's jump in. Last pregnancy, I was doing 2 videos a week. I didn't have children. I was on a medical leave. I literally was doing nothing all day besides laying down trying to get these twins to grow because they had severe growth restriction. Harper was under 1% for growth. Hudson fluctuated between like 8% and 20%, but mostly on the lower end. And so I had nothing to do but sit down, film a video, and edit it. There also, obviously, like I just mentioned, were so many complications that came up, and I was doing appointments left, right, and center all the time. There were always updates and things to really keep you guys abreast on. So in contrast, in a very good way, this pregnancy has been pretty good so far. The big thing that's been floating around the last 2 months or so has been whether or not I would need to have a cerclage again. So this is something I had my first pregnancy. A cerclage is when you have something called incompetent cervix. So your cervix is when, you know, you are about to give birth and it's starting to dilate. It like opens, your water can break, you give birth. You don't want that to happen before it's time to give birth. So last time at 19 weeks at my anatomy scan, they saw it was really short. It's supposed to be 4 centimeters. It was 2. I came back a week later. It was at like 0.6 centimeters left. So the next day they had me come in for surgery where they suture your cervix, sew it, so it cannot open. So generally, if you have a cerclage, once a cerclage, always a cerclage is the situation. But because I had twins, they did not know if that was why I needed one or if it was truly incompetent cervix. I also, with the twins, went into full-blown preterm labor at 29 weeks. I was in the hospital for 5 days, but then I stayed pregnant 7 weeks to the day that they released me from the hospital. So they were like, that was unusual. Normally, you know, once we remove, and they removed the cerclage when I was there in preparation for a C-section that didn't end up happening. It was a whole thing. You can go watch that video. That was an exciting one. All that to say, starting at, what week did they start checking this? 14 or 16, they did the first check like 10 weeks ago and did checks every like 2 weeks to measure my cervix to see if it was shortening at all. And I just did my last one yesterday and it has not budged. Totally normal, like 4 to 5 centimeters, like nothing, not a single mark has changed, which is just such a blessing. I thought like 99% I would need one again. I was fully prepared for that. So I've sort of just been on like pins and needles like for each appointment to see if something has changed. I'm really thankful that like I'm out of that window now. After week like 24, 25, they don't check that anymore because technically at this point your pregnancy is viable. You don't want your baby born at 24 weeks. There is a plethora of hurdles you would go through and lifelong complications most likely. But that being said, it's not like a cerclage is a life-saving measure, medical necessity at this point. And then at week 28, everyone's cervix can start to shorten in that third trimester in preparation for labor. So again, they wouldn't place a cerclage at that point, even if it was shortening. So I am graduated. They said we're not going to check that anymore, which I am not upset about. Yeah, that's the big one. Second big thing that happened with the twins was their growth. They, like I mentioned, were, especially Harper, severely growth restricted. She did have marginal cord insertion, which is where the umbilical cord attaches to the end of the placenta, not the middle where it gets all the nutrients. Instead, it's here and everything kind of has to come to it. So that can cause some growth restriction, as well as the fact that there were just two. They had their own sacs on placentas, but still my body was just dividing and conquering and it could only do so much. So they were really small. We did my anatomy scan a month ago and he is measuring like the 25% range. So my doctor was like, he's a little small. I'm like, honey, I had a 1%, under 1% baby and an 8% baby. So 25% is huge. So they're not concerned. Everything else looked awesome, like heart, brain, kidneys, bladder, all the things, like just a little stellar kiddo. I am not super bumping. I will show you my bump at the end. So they think part of that is like my uterus. I don't know why I feel so weird about all these medical terms. Your uterus, your body. Anyways, it's like tilted back. So it's like pushing against my back, which is like, if you told me that my tailbone was cracked, I would believe you. The pain is unreal, but it's kind of like back and tilted. So I think that's just causing an extra reason why I'm not bumping a ton. I don't care. But the only thing, they are gonna do another growth scan next month because my placenta split. And they're not concerned. It's not like an emergency, like placenta previa, I think it's called, where like it splits and it bleeds and it's like a whole thing. This, like it's at like the very, very top. My like placenta's like up here. It's not like posterior, anterior, front or back. It's like up, but it kind of was like up into the side. And like as I've expanded, it kind of just like split. So I have like a big one up here and then like another one kind of in like the front, I think. But the bigger one has the umbilical cord. So that one is what's feeding him. The other one is just like wasted space. I don't think it has no umbilical cord to it, but it will continue to grow. They were not concerned as long as next month when we check that he is still growing fine. So all that to say, we're doing well. I've appreciated also though getting all the checks for the cerclage, and because with the twins, I mean, my gosh, I had so many appointments and so many checkups and I got to see them all the time. It gave me peace of mind. It was hardly ever an annoyance to me. So now we are just a couple weeks shy of the third trimester. Obviously, I'm really busy having twin toddlers, so that keeps me on my toes, obviously way more than last time. So I'm grateful that I'm not having complications that require me to lay low more, bed rest, etc. because that kind of isn't possible right now with 2-year-old twins. So let's get into some questions that kind of go through my pregnancy checklist here. I have gained 10 pounds. We do not have a name. We kind of did, and some stuff happened and now we don't. So we're still figuring that out. We have like a list, but nothing's really sticking yet. I am having a baby shower in like a month and a half, which I'm so excited for. It's gonna be really cute. My symptoms have been really mild. I mean, I'm just tired, but I think I'm just pregnant, growing a baby and taking care of toddlers in the house. And so I'm tired. Never had any sickness at all with either pregnancy, which I do not take for granted. Again, like the biggest thing I feel like is my skin broke out a lot last pregnancy and this pregnancy. It's just so sensitive. Like if all my clothing like isn't super clean and washed, or like I rewear jeans or like undergarments, like I will break out like where a strap is or something. So that is frustrating and really makes me self-conscious, but what are you gonna do? No new stretch marks. Last pregnancy, I thought I didn't get any until after I gave birth, and it was like the underside of my belly. I had a couple. So those, I can like see them there. So who knows what they're gonna do by the end of it all. It's genetic, it is what it is. I also, like I said, I don't have that huge of a bump. So we'll see kind of what ends up happening the closer we get. But so far we're not looking too crazy. Let me show you the bump. There he is. He's kind of pointy. Isn't that weird? So that's the bump. Not that exciting, honestly. Okay, I think that's everything I wanted to address. The twins, like, totally know there's a baby in there. They give him hugs and kisses. They'll sing him songs. I tell them that he can, like, hear them now. Harper got to feel him kick for the first time the other day, and it was so cute. I do have a video of it, but she's like not wearing any clothes, and I don't like to post videos like that. She was like, and just like laughing. It was really cute. Gosh, he kicks so much. Literally, he's gonna be a little like athlete in there, a little soccer star. And I don't think there's like a whole bunch of room, or, you know, because of twins, it's relative. Maybe the twins were just squished in there so I didn't feel them move as much. I did feel Harper a lot. Hudson was just chill and didn't move a ton, which kind of scares me that like he's gonna just be like a wild child, but we'll see in a few months. That is the update. I kind of haven't been giving many updates because it seems like a waste of everyone's time to come on here and say I've got nothing new to share and everything's fine and good. So everything is fine and good. I will update again once I do the next growth scan, let you guys know how it's looking. But thank you for following along. If you've been here since the first pregnancy, let me know. Leave a comment. I want to know how many of you have been here for years now. And be sure to subscribe, like this video, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.